Anyone there? Mic check, test 1, 2. I think that's Mike's. Okay. Doing some, what are we doing today? Stanley Parable. Again. Just because we're doing it. Nobody's here yet, but that's fine. I usually start without people, and people come when I start to play, which is totally a-okay. Yeah. So the last time I played this, it was last Sunday, and now I'm here. I need to finish the rest. I want to do the new content. I don't know if the people that watched last time will be here to help me. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Hello, hello. Yeah, I guess we'll see. There's a lot of like achievements that I've seen on the game, like 888, welcome back, test achievement. I don't know what the how to get these, but yeah, I will try. There's also a speedrun thing to complete the game in under 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So I'm gonna try to do that in some other time. But for now, we're doing the new content. How did it end? So this game is actually never ending. There's just multiple endings. Good morning. So yeah, the game doesn't have an actual ending. The ending of the game is when you quit the game. That's the actual ending. But if you don't quit the game just loops back to where you started, and you have to find like multiple endings, or you know, just figure out how, who, what, when, and stuff like that. So yeah. Now I've been like, the last game we did, the last playthrough that we did, or I did, I kind of like intentionally left behind the new content door, but this time we're gonna explore that. It is funny and annoying because it's every time you go back, and then the narrator guy is just there narrating everything, and you have to follow him, but sometimes you have to break the rules, and then he'll be annoyed, and then yeah, I find this game so fun actually, because then like you will know every action has an equal opposite reaction, you know, something like that. But yeah, without further ado, I'm opening the game right now so we can run it. Let's run it. Hopefully can you hear the music. Enter the current time. Why do I have to always enter the current time? What time is it? IQ? What's that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. 9:19. Confirm. Am I restarting from the start? Hang on. Oh. Okay. Can I just say something? Okay. Sure. Okay. Don't take that step seriously. Let's just leave it at. Ha. That's funny, right? Oh, wait, hold on. I have to change where the cam and chat are supposed to be, which is on the side. Is that too big? I'm gonna make it smaller. Okay, better. Perfect. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. Thank you. I don't have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. What? Since you've been so cooperative. Next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Okay. Go ahead. Pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was so sweet of the game. To do that. Doesn't even make sense, but okay, sure, why not? Oh. Would you fall in love with me again? Would you?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Are we back from the start?
Stanley
That's
worked
crazy.
for a company.
Okay, I skipped it. Okay, great.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to make sure that I have everything. That's where we're gonna go. But let me just run it through one time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
What we can
Perhaps
do.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I want to land on that car.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I guess it's the
Good
same
job,
thing.
Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
And now we're back to the top.
All of his co-workers
I want to make sure that I
What
got
could
through
it
everything
mean?
before doing
Stanley
the
decided
new
to go to the
content.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But I don't remember if I... There were people who were here the first
When
time I
Stanley
played.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
They
knew
knew
it
more.
perfectly well.
They knew the game
Perhaps
more
he
than I
wanted
did.
to stop by the
and-
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What about this? Did we do this right? I don't remember. I don't even know if how to go through each one.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an
seems like-
empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What is sweet FA?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Oh, I feel like I've started a new game. Bruv.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
No,
I
you
never
can't
would have
pick up
thought
an
to mention
object.
it.
I wanted to see because when I first
Maybe
did
to
it,
you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
go back again.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Doopy doopy doo.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
I want to finish this.
All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay. One last time. Nope. I guess that's it. That's the ending of this one. The broom closet. One more time. Okay. I guess that's the ending of it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, great.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. 2845. 2845.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
2845.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
No, somebody said press 8 multiple times and see what happens. 2845.
2845.
2845. Sometimes you have to break the rules. Sometimes you don't have to listen to the guy and see what happens.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Can't see anything. Okay. It seems like the game restarted somehow. Oh, would you
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up.
What
Silly
the?
me. Why did? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, did they break the game? What happened? I went out. It took me out.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical
You watched the
plot points,
VOD?
one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry
fun
of
the first time, so I'm like
uncompromising narrative. Wow.
excited for the new content.
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Okay, that's done.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Yeah. Like last time, people are just like coming into the chat, doesn't even know me or the channel itself,
Okay,
and
I'm
has been
ready.
helping me play
I'm
this
prepared
game.
to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Yeah, I'm going down. I don't want to do the...
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Wow.
Although this passageway had the word, but of course, Stanley thought better of. Nope. Still on board with death?
Death? I love it when he says things like that. Death?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
They're probably saying just wait for a bit. Just in our language.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Blue. We went to the blue door.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Oh.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yada yada yada.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Blackness.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
No worries.
Where had his co-workers
And
gone?
welcome back.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Technically.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was
nothing
all
much.
he
I was
needed
just
to know.
rediscovering
It was perhaps
something
the only thing worth
in the
knowing.
game.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, I guess it's not finished yet. I looked up.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
It's so cool how
the
they do
immense
that.
possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
The
And Stanley
end.
was happy.
The bucket. Okay. Now that I've done revisiting everything possible outcome in the basic game, or like in the default game, now it's time to go to the new content. Yada yada yada. I'm kind of scared, but kind of excited.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Here we go.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Here we go.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Can I not jump over there? Yeah, what does that mean? Hello? Uh-oh. The end is never the end. Ooh, a ride! Just gonna look forward.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
2013?
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Nice.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Hey, what's up, JFK?
Please
And
step
Thomas, I
inside
forgot
and
his
see what
name to drop
thrilling
here.
new
Thank you
adventures
for being
await
here.
in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Nice, been doing
this
well.
sounds delightful. I'm
It's
very
kinda
excited
rainy
to see
outside,
the thrilling
so-
new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. What if I want to go back? Can you do that? Oh. Oh, no. Okay. I guess not. Something to do.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but
A
I'm
trap.
sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I hope so, too. I mean, I bought this game.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the
Just
new
got shot in
content.
the head.
I've
That's
never
wild.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Slowest elevator ever.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I don't want to. What? That's it? I mean, for
All
first
right.
place.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
You can't jump, no? Yes, I am indeed in the new content right now. Oh! So I just like not use it all? That's cool though, you get to jump, but you can't jump. Whee! So what? Do I just keep moving forward?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
What happens if you use them all? No, I can't. Pressing space right now. I don't know if you can hear it. But once I'm in the circle. 28. 28. 28. Yeah. Should I just keep moving forward? Keep moving forward. What if I try all? What happens if I try all? Not you falling. Am I? Oh, I'm stuck.
Another elevator. Stanley,
Well-
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
11. Ooh. Thank you for... No, this is troll.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
You're lying. You're lying. Oh. This is new. Ooh. Ah. This is the original one. That's nice. Okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Coffee nut. Okay. Am I gonna die here? In the vent. Among Us. Among Us.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa. Whoa. You hear that sound? That beautiful sound. Ah, that's such a great picture. Look at that. Let's fucking go back. Will he say something else? No, I don't think we can go back. What's up, Nitro?
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay. The memory zone. Telephone. Can I? No, you can't. No, you can't. Okay, never mind. Dark Souls.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
Nice.
the waste.
What is this? Indie box. So we're in a museum again. The British Academy of. That's funny. Our First Kiss, My First Car, the release of Stanley Parable 2013. Oh, 2013. Who's that? Clicks. What is that even? Buy on Steam. Firefox, that's wild. Good times. Good times. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. $1? What $1 been doing here? Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. It is supposed to get this in. Nominee. 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 Is this actually true? Is that real? Tough choices. Is that it? We done? I actually like the graphics here. People frame the first dollar they make. Ah! Wait, was it the year 2013? Beta, work in progress. Year. There's no year. It should be a year. Maybe it's in the back. I don't know. Since 2003. Never mind. Okay. More views. There's another house back there. Oh, look at that. Hold on, I want to sit down. Why won't you let me sit down?
Je suis dans la mémorisation, c'est sur la pluie de l'eau, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
Oh.
C'est là, dans la mémorisation, où je me remémore les
That's
jours.
so cute, a hamster.
Je t'ai rencontré, mon amour. Mais ici, c'est aussi où je me souviens.
Is that
de
French?
la sortie de The Stanley Parable.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And
Okay.
now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour of new elevator content. Okay. Let's begin. Is that Minecraft? Why is it? That's funny. Top 10 memories I remember. Person of the year. That paint. I want to go down. Well, I guess not. There was a Minecraft? Was? Not anymore? Oh.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Wait, there's a lot of doors. Literally, people play games because what they can do inside them, and your game is very good, and let them know they can't do anything. Okay. Hello? Hello? Can I go over there? Can you open this? Hello?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh.
What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Why did it open but won't let me in there? A serious room. I don't know. I haven't seen new deluxe 100% to be honest. Your first exposure I've had. Like I haven't even heard about it until watching stream the other day. There's a lot of commentary about sequels in this game. Oh, a Parable 2?
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
No. Why is it so scary? I don't like that sound. Oh, oh, oh. What is this? Steam reviews. Whoa. Ooh, that sound gave me chills, bruv.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I guess we'll see. Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
We are in scary territory right now. Is that an ice cream truck? Ice cream. I would like some ice cream, please. What are these? Just not right. Look, it's raining, just like in real life. It's raining. Go.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Yeah.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, that's so cool. You're not a failure, self. Who am I talking to even? Oh, oh no, I can't get back up. Can I?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Yep.
A skip button? Well, yes.
Are we swimming?
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
You know I'm too shy. Yeah, what if I jump in the water? Eee. Eee. Now let's... I want to jump in the water. Oh, well, I guess too late now. What's behind this? Make sure to explore. Oh, there's some ladder. Can I go up? Can you bring me up? Okay, never mind. Ah.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks.
More. Whoa.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
Boy. Is he dead? Is that what's happening here? Why is there a bomb ticking? Hello? Stop, you're annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, enter.
How long should I keep pressing this? The plant is dead. The clock is dead.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Thank you. Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Wait. Why do I hear water? Do I just keep pressing this? In the eye of the hurricane, there is quiet. For just a moment. Is it the apocalypse now? Ooh. There's a sun coming out of the rain. Okay. Keep moving forward. Wow! Look at all the greens. Am I dead? Is this heaven? Okay. I wonder what year it is now. And this, oh, it's dead again. And it's dark. Bruh, is it the apocalypse? Okay. What are these? Okay, that's so scary. I don't want to be here anymore. Please get me out. Please, thank you. Oh. Are we in space? Is that a thing? It's not gonna press anything anymore. Where are we? Welcome to Dune. The sand dune. Woo! Chills everywhere. I'm in a desert. Every ending is changed if you have the bucket. Now, where do I get this bucket? Okay. Oh. That was it. That was a great ending. Does something happen if you don't press the skip button? Oh, the broom closet.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Of course,
What
but
could
of
it mean?
course.
Stanley
It's in the
decided to go to the
broom
meeting room.
closet.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, new content. Should I get the bucket or should I go for the new? He just talks more. Should I do the bucket now or do the bucket later and discover this new content? New content. New content. Yeah. I remember this game. I either watch it, a friend or another YouTuber play this. Bucket later. Okay, bucket later.
Good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. You have something very interesting to show me. I can be a voice actor. What is it? Why is that flipped? Oh, wait. And we're here back
You see,
again.
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about
Yes,
how
you have.
roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even
Bro,
further.
why is it
Which
dark?
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow! Oh my goodness! A
Yes,
next
you see, isn't this
sequel?
far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground
Wow.
up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Dose 2. Open? Open? No open.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2
No
is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Those. They're back. 2 doors. Okay. More TSP, better TSP. Paradigm shift, break mortar, color red, leverage, holistic value, win-win. Yada yada yada. Logo ideas. Look, the plant. They're the same plant. No? Okay. Sure. Door? Door?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I
The
figure
end is never
that if
again.
I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of
Sequels are good.
naturally
Portal 2,
spring
Half-Life
up
2,
around them. It'll all
Doom
work
2,
itself out. Game
Dark Souls
development is
2.
much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
To the Stanley is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to. Okay. Great. This the way to the show floor. Can I take a photo of this? This is pretty. Okay, here we go. Okay, here. The SP2 should be about the coworkers. Yeah, I agree. But that would be too much work for them, right?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Ooh, look at that. The bucket. Merch. No screenshots. That's new. Wait, I want to try everything. You need a game only about the bucket? Yeah, we'll try that. Try that next time. Gym button. There's so many things to do. I don't know what to do first. Left or right? Left or right? Oh, that guy is spitting. Okay. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Office, decorations, the reassurance bucket. Right? Infinite hole.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Let's do all right.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it
Well,
is.
F me then, I guess. This one's stuck there. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
No.
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay. No? Nothing? Okay, sure. Okay. What's this? 22222. The jump circle.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Okay. New free new easy achievement. That's new. Collectibles. Exit. No, I don't want to exit. Expo hall. You are here. This one is so huge. Okay, let's go back from the top. From the top! And see where we're at. So we're here. We went to that thingy. Maybe he dies when you finish the jump. Gotta get my dad to play this game. He hasn't played a game since Chip's challenge. If you had used it all before, then the jump circle would have worked. Oh, cool, 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 cool. Enjoy the new features. What is this over here? Epilogue. Okay, let's do this big, giant, whatever.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Did you just say Stanley? I'm gonna guess this you're gonna say Stanley. It's not gonna be my name, right?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Hi, I'm Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes, me, Jim,
If
now.
So, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay.
Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
No, you can't press it anymore.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
No! Jim God. God. Jim! We'll miss you, Jim. Okay. Boo. There's one cute little thing.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Jim, or is it Jim? Actually, haha, that's funny. I wonder who made Please No Screenshots. A whole new office. 999. Red is the new orange. New bit ray traced more the same, but in a good way. New feature, new content ideas. Consistent quality was just Jim on stage. Bravo. What's here? Why is it doing that? The baby's all grown up now. Watching on TV on PC? Fun. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to grow this channel so that we can have memberships and monetization. Monetization. That word. And monetize it.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Ooh. Ooh, we're at the top. We're looking down on grip. Free achievement, infinite hole, setting world champion. Okay. Done that. Done that. So we went through that. We went through that achievement. Let's go to the infinite hole. See how this goes. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Bye. Time and depth. Opening. Depth. Infinity. It just keeps going. Okay, sure. This doesn't go up.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Yo. Oh. I thought I was gonna die there. So, can we even go out? Like, what happens if we jump? Can we go out of it? Humana. I'm gonna summon something. Humana. I almost fell. Humana. Hummus, pork and beans. Hummus, pork and beans. Hummus, pork and beans. And we jump.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
Okay.
Since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh. The whole be smaller.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
No, you're the problem. What are you talking about?
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Yeah.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that
Deal.
works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Wait. They don't love you like I love you. It's not. Is there something gonna happen if I don't press it? Apparently he didn't die. Because, you know, Stanley's already dead. That's the gist of this game. Okay, I guess we go up. New mug. Meeting at 2. Meeting at 2. And then just some cigarettes over there. That doesn't even look real. Look at that. It's just paint. Okay, here we go. Going back up.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Let's do one more. What? I will not do anything. See if things happen. Let's pretend we're AFK. We're AFK, Stanley. How long though? How does it feel knowing the hole has a bottom? I feel great. No, we're Jim. That's true. That's true. We're Jim. Me Jim, you Jim. We all Jim. He's not talking anymore. Should I wait? They don't love you like I love you. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. Wait. Okay, I guess I have to.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really, gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I
You're
suspect
funny.
that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is
It's not working. It's not working
teleport
anymore.
button not working?
I hate you.
Sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
No, it doesn't work still.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Take
I hope
care.
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Wow, that's a really good effect. Have a wonderful day together. Have a wonderful day together. Oh? Hello? Did he blow up the entire game? Is that what's happening here? G? G! Whoa. Whoa, cool. And now we're descending. I don't know if you guys watch musicals, but this feels like Hades Town right now. Way down, Hades Town, way down under the ground. Orpheus, save me! That's an F. What? This is actually funny. Oh.
My head's stronger. Now you're no space of mind. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mind. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Whoa. J. Whoa. Who's that? H. G. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, what?
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
Oh.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
Oh, that was
Try that, Stanley,
fun. No.
Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle.
Toodle peep. Toodle peep. I'm wide awake. What? Something happening again. Oh. Are we done? Is this it? Oh, good. We're back from the start.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. 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 I don't want to do the exit. Done that. What's here? Mostly infinite. Oh, they actually changed the name. Free achievement. Okay, sure. Let's do this. Get yours right now. Pull the lever. Receive your achievement. No more steps. It's just worse. Get your sword now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you. And I promise it will happen.
Okay. Never mind. Okay. I tried it. Nothing there. All that for nothing? Brava. Brava. Okay. Sure. I guess.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
This one, collectibles. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Collect them all. Collect them all. Whoa. Me want glowy light. Glowy light.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh. Oh. That's actually funny. Is that it? I've got 0/6, so which means there's gonna be more of them.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Can I press that? Is that it? Brother. Should I be on the lookout for more of those things? I want to click that. That's an achievement in itself. I'm here now. I'm now a kid. Let's see if we can find one of those. Hi, kid. I'm Jim. What does that even mean? It's locked. Why would you lock it? No, with my brother. How about with my brother? Want me to finish the counter? Jump counter? Okay, that's done. Is Jim back? Is the Jim button back? I just want to check if the Jim button's back. Are you back? Oh, it's gone forever. Seems like it's gone forever. So I guess there's only one thing left, right? The jump circle appears in the main game later. Okay. I guess there's only one. The bucket. Right? There's like a door or a staircase over there at the top. Okay. Here we go. Bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh,
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I got the bucket and a mop.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh. Is it gonna affect if I go back to the infinity hole with the bucket? This is the one, right? Oh, it's locked. Okay. So I guess we're done here, right? Should we exit? The achievement is done. Collectibles, free achievement, miss infinite. Circle is done. Gem is done. Okay, here. Jump circle, yes. This map, yes. Free achievement, yes. The button says name player, yes. Z merch, yes. Setting world champion. I don't know if you can open that. Stanley Parable research bucket, yes. Office decorations, yes. Epilogue, yes. Collectibles, yes. Infinite hole, yes. And yeah. See if anyone is different with the bucket. Yeah, I want to see this. It's still locked. It's so weird you're just having this bucket. Z bucket. Z bucket. Okay, not there. I guess it's time for me to exit. Blum, 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 blum. Right? Right. Right. Because that's closed off. It's time to go. Can I jump here? Is there a jump here? Nah.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Every time he talks, I'm like, I want to go back, see what he says. Anything. Why is there a backpack over here? No, my brother. My brother. No screenshots. Okay. Okay.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Maybe.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
I want the infinity hole.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Wait, what?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Wow. Why is it red though?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Is that the balloons that we did not
Employee number
choose?
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And
Okay.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Are spread out
Something
across
he
the
would
game.
never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him
Typical someday.
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very
Yes.
clearly wrong. Shocked,
Clearly
frozen solid,
very wrong.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, I see the balloons. See the balloons over there. Get well someday.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, the bucket is here. Ha ha. Oh, why is there a thing over there? Should I carry the bucket or should I carry the bucket later? See what happens if you don't carry the bucket. You know?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Okay,
Why
sure.
was he not doing it? Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
The clanking
Still
sound.
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I
Well, you
know how
can't,
hard it must
no?
be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
Oh, I
bucket
didn't
walked
finish the
upstairs to the
narrating.
boss's office.
No, there's nothing there. Okay, here we go. 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The
Okay.
bucket would. And he knew it.
It's very
The two of them were
positive now.
inseparable.
Positive.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did
Well,
he
the
have
narration
any
is a bit
notion that the
longer
pin number for the
now.
keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
So should we go to every ending again? And see what happens? Is that how you play this game now?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape, but of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Okay. Let's do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Da 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 da.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Elevator.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Okay.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The end is never the end.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
Okay.
The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Huh? Uh-oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No!
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Find out what? Is that it? Bruv. Okay, let's do that again. Again.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the wind, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Run.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Yes, oh no,
The bucket
videotape,
had
blah
never
blah
seen
blah blah
anything
blah.
like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
That skip button would be nice in here.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Stanley's feeble mind. Oh no, I forgot. Go up.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
Up.
His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I guess I feel like every is gonna be opposite this time. So if we go for like the end of the world stuff.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Oh.
Birds. Silly
See?
birds. The control buttons became active again.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Silly birds. I want this one.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
So like
And
everything is
Stanley
opposite,
was happy.
you know what I mean? But it's still interesting though. Is that it? Okay. On to the next one, which is, what is the next one?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The escape one. The
Stanley
escape
decided
one.
to go to the meeting room.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Huh? Who? Huh? Wait, what? Wait, what? This is a different room. What happened?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Or was I dreaming?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Found
You
one!
found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay! Sounds goodly. But I'm Jim, right?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe
I am crazy.
He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Okay.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Where the bucket
Could
at?
it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him.
What? That's
It was
crazy.
incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
The bucket was inside him all along. That's wild.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of
course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first
No,
place.
his bucket was inside
How
him
cruel
all
the
this
world
time.
can be, Marietta
It's
thought.
what you
But she
did,
hugged
what
her
you
own bucket
said.
even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance.
Maybe the
and
real
total
bucket
clarity
was
on
the
everything.
friends we
Heck,
made.
yes, she thought to herself, my life
Along
kicks
the
ass,
way.
and she backflipped
I
all the way
totally
to work.
agree. That's it. This is a story.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day... Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
How insightful
No,
indeed.
never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
Watch
to
out.
go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Wacha! Wacha! Wait, what? There will be a reward for find them lies. Who are you? There will be... Are you kidding? I want them so much. I want to go home. Looks like 57. Ha 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 ha. Trust the completionist instinct. How can you tell if you've spotted one? What makes them float in there? Who took these pictures? These are all new. We can do it. Red room. Maybe we are the collectibles. Maybe we are. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Collectible? No collectible.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Collectible? Collectible? Yeah!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I
That's
like that.
funny.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
The bucket is what keeping Stanley sane. Correct. Wow. We can go back? I didn't know we can go back. Wait, there's another door. Oh, wait, that's how. Never mind. Figurine? Collectible? 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 Why is that glowing? Probably nothing. Collectible? Collectible?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
No.
Yes.
I've been
This is
playing
certainly
this
the most
game for a
logical
very long
explanation.
time. That's why. Oh!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Yahoo! Wee-hoo! Pum 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 pum. Wee-hoo! Pum 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 pum. Okay, let's fall down.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Washa. Oh, wait.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Nice.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Okay.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here.
Where is that?
Cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly
There's no regrets over here.
as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this.
Oh,
The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on.
What the bucket was.
The two of them waited for a very long time.
And we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting? Okay, cool.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes. Yes. Correct. A large room, lots of boxes. Somewhere between both red and blue. A large room, lots of boxes. What's a large room with lots of boxes? A large room with lots of boxes.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
large
office.
room with lots of boxes. Where could that be?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The loading dock? Ah, yeah! The loading dock. I remember that. Instead of Stanley with an A now. I don't know what happened yesterday, but you can hype that. That's way old.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
They will meet a violent
The door behind them was
death.
not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Never.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Okay. Here we go. Loading. Now here we are again.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Jim. And then we drop.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Welcome you to the grand exhibit of the bucket. Okay, yada yada yada. Bucket, bucket, bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
It's going. It's going. It's going gone away. Inferno. Nothing over here. Oh, it's just there floating above. That's funny.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh. Okay. What if I jump? Oh, shoot. I thought I was gonna fall there. I was like, whoa. Oh, I took the bucket. I stole
But there
it.
is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
And scene. Loading. There's nothing. Hello? Oh, there we go. And they died happily ever after.
The
Notice.
good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
So I've done everything
Stanley
on the
clutched
left.
the bucket tightly to his...
Question
This
mark?
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
Right?
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket, was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left,
left.
to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section
going
and
down.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Loading.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley. We're back here again.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
The bucket? No!
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Oh.
This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Magnificent. Maleficent. Is that it? Okay, we tried the downstairs. We tried that one. We tried that one. We tried that one. Oh. Whoa. Oh.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I discovered something new. I can't get out of it here now. I died.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Right? I was right. The loading dock was there. No?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought. A good bucket. A strong bucket. A humble bucket. A committed bucket. A bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was
Loading
wrong.
dock.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Where is this?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to
Oh,
do.
there it is.
Stanley did
Oh,
not
dang it.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yes. I have to do something here.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Oh, that's not it. They said dark room. Oh, there it is.
Now pick up the...
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Yeah,
Can't you
yeah.
see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh, my goodness.
What is comedic timing?
Brother.
What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And
What?
more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes.
Yes.
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal
From your
conditions
body.
for good comedic timing. To begin the joke,
The
start
game
by
is an
stating and
experience.
spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
I'm actually not
When
listening.
the joke has concluded, it is
My mind has
customary
been
to inform
wandering.
your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were
Data?
throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme. Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Thank you. I'm also gonna grab that. It's gone!
This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd.
Okay,
what a
maybe the next
hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
That.
The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Correct. Bucket is life. Bucket is life. Bucket is life. Bucket, 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 bucket. Here we are
You
again.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Right. Oop.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and read.
Please don't show it, please.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Back at it again. Oh.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale...
You didn't see this?
What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar.
No, that's not
We're
good.
getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see.
Bravo. Pepper
A
all
soft
around.
wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after.
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
This was
but Stanley
not.
had felt the bucket calling to
Yep,
him.
that's a lot of
telling him that
papers.
the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, okay.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, I fell. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. What's in here? Where are we? There's a light in the sky. Me see it calls me, and no one knows. Okay, sure.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Uh-oh.
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Okay.
Sheer euphoria I feel every
Euphoria.
time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest,
When I set it down.
it doesn't make sense.
At all.
There's no explanation for it.
Nor.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why
Someone who understands.
everything
That's so
feels
true.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Huh? Yes.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
With the bucket?
This is my golden ticket.
It looks like a face,
But
no?
I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Oh,
What's
dark.
that?
It's too dark.
Who's there?
It's too dark. Gambura, what? Okay.
All
That
of
was-
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
He's
Stanley
a
decided to go to the
loner.
meeting room. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
need that
took the door on his left to
collectible.
go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket.
bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Wow, what a challenge to get this.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
I mean, real. Can I jump over there? Should I even jump over there? I don't think so. Hold on, let me try. Nope.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Yeah, never mind. I already got it. I just need that one more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow.
For
Very
real.
lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket.
I'm gonna try picking up
This
the
was not the
phone.
correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket
was wrong. Bucket is always
Stanley
wrong.
took
What
the
are you
door
talking
on his left
about?
to go back to the meeting room.
Right
No,
now,
said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Yada yada yada.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Correct.
In here,
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
Said the bucket.
pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Is there an ending if you don't pick up the phone? Or does
This
it just
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his
sad
bucket.
story?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
This is a very cute house or an apartment. Door? Oh, there you go. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press I to take me to work with you. What if I don't want to? Okay, sure, there's no other way.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press N to take me home back in. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I
Yeah,
want to
where
say
is the
something
wife?
to him, but I don't know how I can
Wifey,
convince
I'm
him. I don't
home.
know if he'll listen to me.
We left him for the bucket. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press I for us to go back home. Okay.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press O to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press Z to relive the same day with me over and over again.
Oh my God, what am I
Bruv.
saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a
The bucket
bucket.
understands me.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press B to go home to work to home to work to home. Yes, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's
What
going
is
on?
it?
Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks.
my
What's wrong with me?
goodness.
I don't understand. Perhaps.
Oh my
perhaps
gosh.
if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Oh. Sir, yes, sir. My name's Jim. And now we're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
What
mean?
could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Let's check his ego.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket
Here we
was speaking
go.
to him.
Red, blue doors.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Why is this so scary?
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Jump to the right. Jump to the left and the right. Jump to the left and the right. Where is it?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences
the
on the
right,
entire
right. That was
rest
the
of the
right.
game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what
Is
is
this a bucket?
and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Where was that place that had a pond or a lake? That was a different ending. Is this bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Bravo.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
I hate you.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Oh, nice. Okay, what's next?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both? What next?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Where is it? Where?
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes, you are a bucket. I am a
Stanley,
bucket.
I can't keep doing
Every
this.
single one of you is a
I'm
bucket.
losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
We
I'm
are
afraid
buckets.
The bucket is threatening to tear
A
our
bucket, a bucket,
relationship
a bucket.
apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Oh,
this is
man.
wonderful news. We're not buckets.
I want to
Yes,
be bucket.
I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's
Wanna be
delightful to get some clarity
bucket.
on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. Is that done? Did we do everything? Did we do
All of his co-workers were
everything?
gone. What could it mean?
I
Stanley
need to find
decided to
the
go to
last
the meeting
one
room.
though.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched
Where
the
is
bucket
the
tightly
last
to his chest. This
one?
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'm looking for the last collectible.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
That's a great question. I actually don't know if I
No,
achieved everything.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Parkour. The end is never the end is never the
Good,
end is
said the
never the
bucket.
end is
Now
never the
ride
end
the
is
lift all
never
the way to the
end is
top.
never the
There's
end
something
is
up
never
there
the
I
end.
need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But
this
Stanley
is the
chose
right
not to
door,
think about this obvious
right?
fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Right? This is where the red and blue door, right? Oh, I don't have to carry the bucket to get through there. I see.
No, stop.
Again. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
I
he wanted to
beat the
stop by the
game.
employee
I
lounge
know how
first,
to find the
just
other
to admire
one.
it. It was okay.
Ha ha ha.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Watcha.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
That's
I'm
a
not
great
your
question.
enemy, really,
So
I'm
many
not.
great questions.
I realize
but
that investing your trust in someone
there's
else
actually
can
an
be
ending,
difficult,
but there's
the fact
so many
is that
different
the story
endings
has
that
been
it feels
about
like
nothing but you
it's never the
all this
ending, you
time.
know?
There's
And
someone
that's
you've been
that's
neglecting, Stanley.
that's the game.
Someone you've forgotten.
The end
about.
is never the end. What?
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove
There
that
it
I'm
is.
on your side.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements,
so where is the
you've
infinite
insisted
hole?
that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Oops.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Never mind. I don't want to go there. Never mind. I have to go there. Which one was the more fun one? Blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Is
Do you
this
not
the
think
back?
I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these stray...
Oh, yeah. Begin the game again. So many talking. So many talking. There are more? Are we back to the start? Yo.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
This is so cool, though.
Yes,
Look
I
at that
know we're supposed to
tree.
be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles. Lovely. Natalia Rostova was there. No? Okay. Watcha!
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Wait, what? There's more?
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Oh.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Third. Boss's office. Boss bathroom.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Actually? I don't think
Let's
so.
see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Ooh, what is that? This is cool. Oh.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Darn it. That's such a bad video. Oh gosh. Yo, the Windows Movie Maker. I can't. That's Star Wipe. Star Wipe. Thanks for watching, bro. Best boy.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Now, where do we go next? Do we go back? Let's see if we go back. Okay, it's not going back. Okay, sure. If I fall here, will I die? Jump? You want me to jump? Excuse me. Here we go! I can't jump for some reason. I can't fall. Look at that, I can't fall. Seems like they don't want me to fall, you know? Look at that. Even though like I want to go here, it's not letting me. Like it has a mind of its own. It has like some sort of shield. I don't even have to even try. Oh, wait, there it is. Where are we? This is kind of creepy. Oh, here we are.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
It's the same door. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh. That was it.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
Whoa.
Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Ah, that's funny. Yeah.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Dang it.
Yes, I love that video.
Same. Actually, I love that video.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
What is the pink room? That's actually true. I don't know where. I don't remember where it was. Where is the pink room? Oh no.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
La ba da ba da ba, brother. I want to go to the other side. Boss's office. It's not letting me go. Okay, sure.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh. What came before this? We're back at the start. Bro!
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
More memories! Okay, more memories. Oh.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
I don't want to go. Okay. And now we're back at the office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
The bucket! The bucket! You forgot
Yes,
the bucket.
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do
Whoa.
it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
He's dead, bro.
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Is this a completely different room?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should I get the bucket? Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Where do I go? In bucket.
Stanley's bucket. The only Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that? Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Not there anymore. Where am I supposed to go now? Is this the end? But there's no end. Right? Does the elevator music change if I have the bucket with me? Oh wait! I haven't tried the Okay, it does not happen. I haven't tried the elevator thing with the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office,
With a
Stanley was
bucket.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Oh, I thought
Yes,
that was gonna
this is
open.
certainly the most logical explanation.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Three!
Bucket said nothing.
The bucket said nothing. I want to press 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Okay. Back to the elevator.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Correct.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again? No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet.
Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Okay. Let's go back. Number 3. Let's go.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Okay. Follow the leader, leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, leader.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Nothing. One more time. Well, there's no narration, so.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it.
Hello,
then the bucket would be able to see his
What's
joy
up?
through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's.
Or is it Johnny?
And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Press conference.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life. This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
I'm ready. Jamie. Nice. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved.
Did you hear that cough? Somebody is there.
And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
But also, why 3 though? Oh. This is a story. And now we're back at the top. The bucket what? The bucket what? Somebody, what? Did you see that?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not.
Okay. Any more that I missed? What about that window thing? Can we still do that?
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Oh, hello.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The
What
bucket
memo?
began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Oh. Oh. What?
My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside.
Lies. Bucket will always be free. Bucket forever. You know?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
Okay, what else? What else do Oh, this is a different one. Hello? Why is it always changing every single time?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think I finished everything, right? This game is never ending.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Okay.
Expand on the wide
feel like this is
variety of
like a lot of
experiences
talking over
you
here.
and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Are we done?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate. No more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Okay, is that it? Are we sure that's it?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
It is indeed a bucket.
Really is a
Indeed a
wide variety of
bucket.
applications for this sticker.
Okay, are we waiting for do more? Is there more?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Oh, rage quit. No. Okay, I guess that's the end.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I think that was it. You can't even... I mean, yeah. Duh. Yada yada yada.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket...
What memo are we talking
was the
about?
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Error!
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. Watch out.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Jump. I already did
I'd
jump.
never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
I did the
as
jump
Stanley
before.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
I want the disco light, see if that changes anything. Open sesame. Open sesame. Open sesame. Open sesame. Open sesame. Watch out. Mooja. Oh, there we go. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Bum. Is there a change in that, or is it the same still? Goodbye, world!
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Lies, I'm holding the bucket.
Now,
Can you see that?
What to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the
Yeah.
bucket was craving paninis.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until the
Yeah.
rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him.
I'm gonna try
Soon
to
he
see
was dwelling on his regrets.
what
and
happens
the state of their home slowly
the
decayed
lights.
as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Okay.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
Look at that. It's so pretty.
It was
No?
a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to
guess
live
that's
its life
all.
down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
And then we're back to the start. Yep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
That's
Stanley
it. I
decided to
guess
go
that's...
to the meeting
Ooh,
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It has to do with this, that one. You know that one?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And then begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, not that. Computer. Side computer. And then begin again. Oh. Keep changing every time. Then begin again.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I'm looking for that input thing. Okay, but it's not there. What's the name? Nope.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we
Yeah,
all
I might
just
have to
laugh
look it
and
up
laugh at the
online
time
and
I thought
see
everyone
how
had gone missing.
to do it. Yeah, I feel that there's still more. Again.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
That device thingy. You didn't fail
When Stanley
me.
came to a set of all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You mean that one? The memo one? Simply missed the memo?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got... All of his co-workers were gone. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna attempt that speedrun thing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which one is the shortest way?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Please
That
open.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
I'm trying to beat the game, bro.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I think that's the end. I'll have to look up some more if there's more. But I think that's all there is to this. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
go, 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 go,
Control
go, 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 go.
Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Did he have the strength of... I don't know. Kind of tired now.
Now the monitors jumped to...
I guess that's all for me. That was a lot. There's new content again? What do you mean? There's no way you can do the new content again, right? How do you do that? Quit to the main menu? Yeah. But it was fun though. Wait, I got the 88888 achievement. Might be wrong. Yeah, we'll play it again next time. For now, let's do some. I'm gonna finish because I'm sleepy already. I need to go to sleep soon. So let's do some Myrtle before we end the stream. I might need help. Help me. Chair. I don't know why I always go to chair first. So there's an A. Yeah, strap. Oh, duh. There's an SXAXX. Slack. There's no C. There's no T. Swarm. Okay. There's no R and M. There's no WM. Oh, S A star. No, there's no the sharp. There's no R. There's no P. There's no H. So that could not be the word. Slab. Slay. Slay. School. Slate. There's no T. There's no L. We can do that. Try that. Okay. SXAXE. There's no L. There's no T. Swave. No, there's no W. Say. No, not stage. There's no C. Swave. Yeah, that could be it. Sway. You got it. Suede is the answer. And then one more with the connections. Because I love me some connections. Okay. Groups of 4. Punch, suggestion, touch, point, match. Punch, match, box. Fit. Point, match, set, and then point, match, set. What is the other one? Touch, box. suit, fit, hint, touch. I think it's touch. Nope. Okay. Triumph. Nope. Okay, great. Love that. I wasted all of my hints. There's a hint. There's a box. A triumph. Trace. Retrieve. Suit. Fit. Suit fit. Complement. Wow, this is hard. There are days that I can figure it out, but there are also days that I can't. Why is there a lamb chop over here? Dinner? You get lamb chop dinner, fancy dinner, and you wear a suit? And then you get complimented? And then you have the fit. Sorry, I'm just like... No. It's not. You wear a suit to the Oscars. And then... you win, and then you have a nice fit. I know this one's suggestion and hint is kind of like the same. Triumph, compliment. What's the rest of it? It's supposed to be groups of 4. What's the box for? Compliment. Compliment, not compliment. Not, you know, compliment is... Oh, that's a suggestion. Like, what is a similar to that? Fit. Right? Dang it. I don't think we'll get this one, folks. Box fit match triumph. I don't think fit and match triumph doesn't really make sense. The fit, I don't know. Maybe you're right, but I'm not as comfortable with the answer. And we only have 1 mistakes left, but I mean, they complement each other. Lamb chop, a suit, a trace, an Oscar, a box, match fit punch, box and match. Point. On point. On... What is that? Retrieve. Retrieve. Match point. Suit. I don't know. My brain's too fried for today. I'm gonna try that box match. Wait, touch match. Touch match. Suggestion triumph. How are they related? I don't think that's it. Touch match. Suggestion triumph. Trace hint. Trace. Ooh, that could be it. Trace hint. Hint suggestion point. Leave without a trace. Point. Ooh, this might be right. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Oh no! What? Hint, suggestion, touch, and trace? Correspond well with, complement, fit, match, suit. I was like, the word suit for me is like the what do you call that? The clothing. Famous puppets. Lamb chop, Oscar punch, triumph. Oh. I didn't know that was a people. These are dog beach minus boxer, pointer, retriever, setter. Nope. I don't know anything. You can only do one every single day. You can't do you can't do previous days or whatever. It's like Wordle. But yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to bed. It was a fun game, though. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate every single one of your help. Thomas, you were a great help. Mew, you were also Kuni, and the rest who are just viewing. Fine by me. Appreciate every single one of you. Who was here? Thomas. JFK was here earlier. Yeah, did I miss anyone? Amalia was here earlier too. Probably still here. But yeah. Alright, everybody, good night. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I might have to take a break. I didn't sleep well last night. And I had early morning rehearsals today. So during the entire rehearsal, I was just like, And then I streamed because I needed to. I wanted to. But I might stream tomorrow, but not that long. Just Valorant games probably tomorrow. Because we're closer to our show dates, which I need to get ready of. But yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Bye. I need to watch you. Bye. End.